Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Is this thing on? Can I do a mic check real quick? All right. Anybody with the name Mike, can you stand up? Nobody? That's my mic check. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike. That was a really bad joke. Okay, y'all can clap. Okay, it's going to be funny. All right, so I work with Innovative Financial Group. I don't know if you've heard of us. I'm Matthew Murray, and some of you probably have no idea who I am. So usually when I go up and do these things, I completely wing it. And I was like, you know what? For Christian, I'm not going to wing it. I got an awesome team who made me build this awesome presentation. So it's going to keep me on track. We're going to make sure we get out of here on time because I know everybody's ready to get out of here because there's no breaks. I saw many people running there going to the bathroom, so it's going to be okay. Like 40 minutes, we're going to be out of here. Let's go next. I don't have a clicker, do I? Who is this guy anyways? So I just got my doctorate in business administration with a focus in marketing. So I'm actually thank you. I'm really proud of that because I dropped out of high school. So I wanted to prove it to myself that I could do something. So really proud of that. 8 years in the insurance industry, and I, again, am the Director of Marketing and Automation for Innovative Financial Group. I oversee around $10 million in marketing a year, which is a lot, okay? And a little bit of history on Innovative Financial Group. 3 years ago, we got into Medicare. Our first open enrollment, we did 2,000 MAPDs. Not bad. The next year, during open enrollment, we did 10,000 MAPDs. Not bad. And this past year, I think we did 35,000 or 36,000 MAPDs. This year, we're already on track. We're trending to do about 165,000 enrollments. So it's been awesome to be a part of that group. We've got an awesome team. Next slide, please. And I'm going to move around on these camera guys a lot. I saw him falling asleep earlier, so I'm going to make sure he's paying attention. So what's important? We're going to talk about the evolution of a lead. Y'all know about direct mail leads. You know about telemarketing leads. We know about Facebook leads. And sometimes even people know about YouTube leads. But we're going to talk about the evolution of a lead and the psychology of a senior. The psychology of a senior is very powerful when you're in sales, right? What makes people tick? What makes people stop on the Facebook ad? What's the, Chris Weir talked about, he didn't say the word, but it's wordsmithing, right? How do you say one thing a little bit differently to make people go, what did he just say? So it makes them look at the card just a little bit longer, right? Next slide. The direct mail, telemarketing, and digital leads. Digital leads I'm going to put into Facebook and YouTube. And those are my favorite type of leads. I absolutely love those because they turn into automation. So next slide. Direct mail is still the king. Still this day. Like Chris said before, many years ago, he was getting a 7-8% return. That means for every 1,000 pieces of mail that he was sent, he was getting 70 or 80 leads back. That is incredible. Nowadays, we're getting 1%, 1.5%, and sometimes even less than that. Lead costs have gone up, but direct mail is still the king. They're more reliable. They have a longer shelf life. Only downside is the return. There's a huge pendulum swing right now, right? Because of coronavirus, because of the elections in 2020, we saw absolutely no leads. We dropped, I think it was 5 million pieces of mail in 2020, and the owner of the company called me and was like, Matt, we got a problem. We're not getting any, we didn't have what are we going to do for leads? And I said, well, I know how to make Facebook leads, but I don't want to be the lead guy. Well, 3 years later, I'm the lead guy for the company, right? So, keep going, next slide. But have you ever thought about, next slide, have you ever thought about what a direct mail lead goes through to get to you, right? We're talking to the 1% of people who think it's a good idea to put on their personal information on a direct mail card and put it back in the mail. No one in this room would ever do that, right? That's crazy because you're not the 1% of people doing it, right? That's like EJ, my buddy, going to papajohns.com and saying, you know what? Instead of marinara sauce, I want peanut butter. And instead of cheese, I want spaghetti. Okay? But instead of pepperonis, I want gumballs, right? That's a crazy order. No one would ever do that, right? Right? But if he did, and he took all the time to do that, and I walked up to his house with the pizza, and I go, EJ, here's the pizza you wanted. He goes, I don't want it, and closed the door in my face. I look at him and he's crazy, right? Because no one else is doing that. If you think about what they go through, right? They got to go all the way down, right, the driveway. They got to turn around real slow. They got to open up the mailbox. Their moo-moo's going like this, right? The car's driving by. They take it out, right? They get the whole stack of mail because they get a ton of mail. They hold on to their walker and they're all gripping it. It's getting all nasty, right? And they walk it back home, right? And what they're doing is they're sorting through. And they're going trash, 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 trash. And by the time they get to their house, if you open up the door and you look to the left of a senior's house, you're going to see a little tiny trash can. And that's where most of the direct mail goes. And they throw it all in there. The rest of it, they hold on to it. They're like, AT&T, Spectrum, bills, etc. And then they're going to get a direct mail card that they'll, very important update or something, senior savings programs. Like, what the hell is this? So what they do is they sit down. Have you ever seen a senior citizen sit down? They take a second, and they kind of just fall back into the chair, right? And then they're reading the card, and they're looking at it, and they're confused because it says, if you qualify, save $170.10 a month on your Social Security check. Very important senior savings program. What the hell is this about, right? Guess what? They don't do anything with it then. They put it in the middle, in the little table in between, and then the husband's over here, and he picks it up and looks at it, and they put it down. Then they watch TV. The Price is Right comes on at 11 o'clock. Don't tell me y'all don't know that, 11 o'clock, that's when Price is Right comes on. 10 Central, exactly. And after that, they're going to see these Joe Namath commercials. They call in. They don't quite understand the person that's on the phone. They get confused. They're like, you know what? That's not for me. Then they're scrolling through Facebook, and they see a picture of a treasury car with some money behind it saying, Maryland senior citizens, help you save $170.10 a month on your Social Security check. And they click it, and they click it again because their information's automatically populated on there. And they click it, and then it's done. Guess what happens? Immediately, it's a lead for somebody, but what's the very first thing that happens? They get, their phone rings. And the reason I know that is because I made myself a 64-and-a-half-year-old man on Facebook. And one day, I decided to log on my Facebook while I was using the restroom. And before I could even get done, I had 12 phone calls, 17 emails, and 8 text messages. And I was like, if this is what senior citizens go through, no wonder they don't want to do, no wonder they're not picking up the phone for people, right? So when you think about them finding a pen, pens are hard to come by, right? And putting their personal information, and then taking the same card and walking it back, right? Open it up again, move flying, take out the new mail, put that in, close it, and put the little flag up. I, in my 32 years of living, have never put a flag up, right? But that's what they do. So when you get that direct mail lead, it doesn't matter the cost of it. It's such a high-intent lead because they could have said no at any point of that whole thing. Go on to the next thing. Telemarketing. This is the one thing that's awesome. A couple years ago, and y'all may know about this, there's something called avatar leads. They were awesome and cheap. They're illegal now. Please don't use them. Don't even try to look them up. You'll get in a lot of trouble. The way telemarketing leads work, and Glenn did a great job. Give it up for Glenn real quick, guys. Look at him. Listen, the reason it has a bad reputation is because we live on social media. We hear all the time, hey, don't do business with this person because I got a TCPA violation. I got this. The one thing that you want to ask your telemarketing lead vendor is, will you indemnify me if something happens? 100%. If they will, maybe use them. But I don't like to use telemarketing. It's fantastic if you have someone like Glenn. Glenn, I don't know where he is. Great job, Glenn. Next slide for me. And then there's digital advertising, Facebook, YouTube. what I did for many years, well, when I first started in the business, I was buying a $40 direct mail lead, and I said, this is crazy. And I learned that you could make ads on Facebook. This is like late 2015. I had no idea what I was doing. I took a picture of a My Final Wishes book from the company that I work for and just said, free My Final Wishes book and a free insurance quote. I ran it. I made an $8 lead, and what I would do is I'd sit with all these clients and say, what made you click on this and fill out your personal information for me to come talk to you? Right? I wanted to know what they were thinking at the time. They're like, well, my final wishes actually was thinking about dying. I sold Final Expense, right? The reason, again, Facebook has, I think, taken its course in a lot of ways is because everybody is doing it. It's not hard to go to the Facebook ad library. When Danielle came up here, I immediately looked up Boomer Benefits, saw all of her ads that she's running. Great ads, by the way, Danielle, if you're in here. Great job. But it's not hard to find it. I could go take that exact same ad, replicate the ad copy, do another picture, or the exact same picture if she has one I can use, and slap it over there. And guess what? Everybody else can do that. But the problem is, if I have a $1,000 budget, he has a $500 budget, and she has a $20,000 budget, who's going to get the front view? Her, right? Who's going to spend money? Everybody. Facebook will spend your money if you tell them to. I promise you they will. But we didn't go to Facebook. When you woke up this morning and your alarm went off, you text your loved one real quick, and you look on Facebook. You didn't go on Facebook to buy anything, right? No. But if you pull out your phone, this is actually an interesting experiment. This might be the only time that someone tells you to pull out your phone. So pull out your phone real quick, pull up your Facebook. When you log on, the very first thing that you're going to see is something that's interesting to you, a group that you've interacted with, a family member that you love, or something like that. Then you're going to see something again on the next, when you scroll up just a little bit, that's interesting to you. The third thing that you're going to see, generally, is an ad. And that ad, generally, the third or fourth thing down, is going to be an ad. And that ad is the person that's spending the most on Facebook trying to target you as a person. But you don't want to buy anything when you just get on Facebook. You wanted to go on Facebook to look at your friends and families. You want to go look at dogs and cats, or you're looking for a new home or something like that. You didn't want to get advertised to when you got on Facebook. That's not why Facebook was built. Well, actually it was because they wanted to make money. But YouTube has been an incredible lead source, and I've recently started to figure it out. There's two ways of doing it, organic, and then there's paid advertising. The reason that YouTube leads are better, in my opinion, currently, is there's a much higher budget that you need, like a much higher budget. You can't go spend $5 a day like you can on Facebook and get views. It is a pay-to-play system. But just like direct mail of that person walking to and doing something, if I can get them to remember what they were doing, I can get them to remember what they did and why they did it, right? Ms. Jones, you watched a YouTube video, and then you filled out a form in regards to helping you save money on your Social Security check, helping you with state-regulated final expense programs, right? That's why YouTube is much more powerful now. And not a lot of people are doing it. So if you're not doing it, it takes a little bit of setup to do, but it's totally worth it. But leads are great, but they're way better with automation. So next slide. You're doing a great job with the slide. Thank you. So I'm going to talk about a CRM. We talked about CRMs today. Does anybody know what a CRM really stands for? Customer Relationship Management. Sandra.
Customer Relationship Management.
Great job. Next slide. Or next thing. Automation. Keep clicking. Psychology behind mission and interaction with potential clients without being present, right? So one more click for me. One more click. Okay, when a digital lead comes in, what's the very first thing that you're supposed to do? Pick up the phone and call, right? Wrong. It is wrong. That is the wrong answer, because you don't want to be that person of one of those 17 phone calls that I got, right? You want to stand out. I tell all of our agents, hey, Our leads are good, but they're better with the CRM. Let the CRM work for you. I'm going to show you what we used during open enrollment last year that helped us get to 35,000 applications. Don't worry, you'll get the slides later. And you can build this on a CRM. It doesn't take long. It'll be a little bit annoying if you're not tech savvy, but I promise you, this is amazing. Click next slide for me. So this is on like 5,400 leads that we ran for our career team. People tell you, click real quick, a common myth is seniors don't open emails. One more time. I call those people stupid, right? Everybody, when I first started getting into this, said senior citizens don't open phone mails. But if you look, that first email that I sent has a 47% open rate. And the second email that I sent has a 54% open rate. This is on 5,500 leads that we ran for our career team in Charlotte. And off of these 5,400 leads, we wrote 1,208 policies. It's been awesome. So click for me, next one. I use what's called the Amazon method, okay? If Zach goes on Amazon right now and orders socks, what's the very first thing that Zach's going to get? A confirmation email, right? Thank you, you idiot, for buying $50 socks from Amazon. You could have gone to Five and Below and got them for free, and got them for way cheaper, right? But it doesn't mean your socks are here. It just means that we got your order. Thank you for your money, right? So I sent out this email saying, go ahead, click again. Hey, Mary, we got your information from the form that you filled out in regards to helping you save money on your Social Security check. We're reviewing your file and we'll reach out to you soon. Just to make sure your date of birth is your contact postal code. Now, click again. One more time. What's wrong with that question? Just to make sure, you put your date of birth down as 28412. It's wrong, right? Of course. But guess what people do? Seniors love to correct you. Click next slide. Right? They want to fight with you. Like, you don't, you big idiot, right? Click one more time. This guy said, my zip code is this. That's not my birthday. My birthday is this. Right? If I can get people to respond to me, the chance of them picking up later go up significantly, right? Y'all clap for me. That's a good one right there. Good job. Okay, good. A little bit of psychology goes a long way in this stuff, right? And this is a Go High Level CRM. It's $97 a month. You can rebuild all of this yourself. It'll take you like 2 weeks if you don't know what you're doing. It took me like a year to develop everything, so y'all get the really cheap version, all right? Click again. Yeah, again, seniors love to tell you when something's wrong. They'll either tell you through email or they'll tell you through text. Text is preferred because I'm going to call them later, right? Actually, go back. I want to go back 2 slides. There's a lot of other stuff in this. Go back again. Okay. This is going to go super nerdy, so I'm sorry, but this is the really cool stuff. The reason I send an email first, okay, is because our phones are smart nowadays. And when I send Zach an email and I say, hey, Zach, good to meet you. Love to talk to you more. All the best, Matthew Murray, and I put my phone number in there. When I text him 2 minutes later, it's going to say, maybe Matthew, right? But the real reason I do it exactly 2 minutes later is because if I email him right now, his phone will buzz. It'll go confirmation email, right? And he'll pick it up and he'll look at it. If he doesn't do anything with it, it'll buzz exactly again in 2 minutes because we've been designed from our smartphones to keep picking up our phone every time we hear it buzz. Have you ever noticed that? You thought you got a second text message, but it's the same one again? Happens exactly 2 minutes later. So when I send that text message again, and they pick up their phone, when I send that email again, and the text message comes through, that's when they're responding to me. Okay? Now keep going. Good job. Thank you. All right. This is my second email. This has a 54% open rate. It says 15 minutes after my initial text, or my initial email. Hey, Mary, this is again in regards to the form that you filled out in regards to helping you save the money on your Social Security check. We're almost done, but we have 3 additional questions for you. Click here to update your file. So if I emailed Zach and said, hey, there's something wrong with your Amazon order, what do you think he's going to do? He's going to pick it up. What the hell's wrong with my socks? I want my socks, man. All right? So when they click that, it's going to bring them to a survey. Go for it. That survey is going to say, more information needed to qualify for the 17010, back your Social Security check. Please complete the 4 questions. I don't know why I did 3 and 4, whatever. They may correct me again. So they're going to verify the information that I already have. A big problem with digital leads is you get bogus information, right? Right? This is going to verify the information that they put down. If they put the correct information here, I get a new lead. Okay? So name, number, address, city, state. Next one. Good job. If you can get them to fill out more information, it becomes a golden lead. One more slide. I'm going to ask them 3 additional questions. Is your income above or below $1,348 a month? Who is your current health care provider? And do your prescription drugs cost you more than $9 each? Now, as a Medicare agent, that's very powerful information, right? Those are things that you want to know as an agent. Because if I know that Mary Jones makes less than $1,348 a month and she has well care and her prescription drugs cost more than $9 each, what does that tell me? Qualify for a low-income subsidy, right? And you know in that zip code, you're knocking it out of the park with Humana, right? All you have to do is get in contact with that person and you have a much better shot of making that deal. What percentage of people do you think on this 5,400 leads filled out additional information? What would you guess? Who said 20? I got money for you. Good job. Click next one. 20.8%. 1,140 leads filled out additional information, letting me know more about them than I would have known as a regular lead. Do you see the power of just getting a little bit more and a little bit more from your clients? Right? That is powerful stuff when you're trying to sell. It makes you stand out a little bit more. So now when you try to call that person and they've already gotten 2 text messages and 2 emails from you, when you call from the number inside of the CRM, it's going to say, maybe Matthew. And when they fill it out, it's going to say, look out for an incoming call. That's when you call. The people that fill out additional information is closer to an 80% contact rate. So if you can get a hold of those people, the majority of them are sales. Data science is real, folks. It is awesome. Click next. Bottom line, taking time to understand the psychology behind your lead generation program and what seniors go through is important. You want to ask them, what are you going through? How many phone calls are you receiving a day, right? Wouldn't it be great that once we're done here today, you don't have to worry about those phone calls anymore? You don't have to worry about what this is? That would be so great. Well, when we get done here today, I call it a fire and forget missile, Miss Jones. You never have to worry about this again. Knowledge is power, and leads done the right way can help you scale and accelerate the growth of your Medicare business. Next slide. I do want to thank, I'm not done yet, don't come for me yet. Look, the team is awesome. I want to take time and, we have Christian Brindle. I sat with Christian Brindle the first day I got here, and he had an awesome team, right? A lot of times, you get the people at the forefront, but really there's a whole team of people behind it. I couldn't have done half of what that presentation looked like without Alice up there or any of those people up there. We work so hard together, so I want to make sure that they get the recognition that they deserve. Your team is awesome. You guys are awesome. If you have any questions, fire them at me.
Let's go. Who's got a question for Matt?
Dang, guys, all at once, okay? Can I see you?
Why, he was that good, huh?
No.
So, with you building up those workflows and everything, is that stuff much like Zapier, where if Steven builds one for GoGuru and I want to use it for an automation, we can implement them right in?
Yes.
Even if we don't have the same Go High level and stuff?
Yes.
Copy the workflow and send them over?
Yep. Yeah, so,
Get the 49-inch monitor?
No, you don't need that. You don't need that one. That one's ridiculous. No, but we work really closely with Justin Brock and his team and Steven. So me and Steven talk all the time. He gives me tips. I give him tips. So if you want that workflow exactly, I think I've already given it to Steven. So just tell him you want access to it and tell him you want your leads to go through it, and they'll get access to it. Yes, ma'am.
The 5,400 leads that you started with, were those people who responded to YouTube ads, or were they people who you had their email address?
No, those are all Facebook. So those are all Facebook in mostly the Charlotte market that we ran just for open enrollment last year. So for over a 3-week period, and the average lead cost was like $14.37 or something like that. So we spent a lot of money on it, right? But with 1,200 sales, it was awesome. So, great question. Yes, ma'am.
I might not be popular on this, but I'm all about building relationships.
Mm-hmm.
I have to be honest, it feels a little
Much?
shady. Yes. Shady. And so I'm curious, like, how do you, or do you, after that sale, like, what kind of relationship do you
So that's
build
actually,
with people? So I'm curious, like, what your follow-up or what
yeah, so it's actually a really good,
you do after, so that maybe it feels a little better than
sure.
it feels right
So
now.
actually, the most important part of Medicare is retention, right? So at IFG, we built something called Keystone Health, and all it focuses on is post-sale. After the sale's been done, the enrollment's through Sunfire, we have an API, blah, 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 Zapier, really boring stuff. It goes to another CRM where we have 20 people in office that reach out and say, hey, I'm calling on behalf of EJ, your Medicare agent. He just got you into the new Humana PPO plan. I just want to take some time and go over that plan and the full benefits, make sure you understand everything that you had, right? And they go over the summary benefits. And what we found is, although agents are great at selling, they're not great at retention. Not everybody is. I mean, you can be prideful and say you are, but the stats say not everybody is. And what we found is they didn't explain fully the dental benefits. And we go, hey, did you also know you get $2,000 or $3,000 in comprehensive dental? I didn't know that. Well, great. You want to see if we can help you find a dentist and get you access to dental care right now? Absolutely. So our team calls on behalf of the agent, helps them get access to all those benefits. Because if we can get people using their Medicare benefits, actually using it, because they paid for it their entire working life. That's why they have it, right? That's how Medicare is funded, by the working class people, goes into it, it's paid by it. But a lot of people don't even use their benefits. If we can get them using their benefits, it's going to help the client's health, which is very important, and it's going to help the retention, because people use the benefits, the chances of them leaving are slim to none. Does that answer your question? Thank you.
I have a question about that Keystone Health program.
Sure.
Are the people working in that, so they're not the agents, that's somebody else?
Correct.
Are they licensed?
No.
Or, so they're CSRs basically?
Correct. You got it.
Okay.
So, Matthew, what you're telling me is on those 5,500 leads that you got,
Yeah.
your rate of return was what exactly?
We closed 1,208 pieces of business, and we ran them through Keystone. There is an 84% persistency rate on that business.
So what we're talking about is 20% of the clients gave you out of that number additional information, which means you had an 80% close rate on that.
You got it.
So in other words, you developed the lead
Yes.
that instead of $37 for direct mail,
You got it.
for $14.87.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Good question. Yeah.
Tremendous information. I mean, that was all spot on. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Maybe I missed this, but what's the number to play with YouTube? I spend about $3,000-4,000 a month in Facebook ads. What's the minimum to get involved in YouTube?
So similar to Facebook, you can actually see who's advertising and how much for when you get in the Google Analytics side. again, you're going to hate this question. It depends on the area, right? You know, the bigger surface area you have, the better. I wouldn't spend any less than about $250 a day per ad. If you can manage about $250 a day, you'll knock it out of the park. Yeah.
We got time for one more. All right. One joke.
Not what? No, I'm not going to do the mic joke. I don't know. Now that I'm on the spot, I just like telling jokes randomly. I can't do that one. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I don't want to do it.
Matthew Murray.
That'll get me in trouble. Thank you, guys.
Matthew Murray.